I forgot to record all of that. Okay, so for people who are watching the recording, what happened is Nasser, Anon went home, I think. I think that's what happened. He was like Jeremy, and then his dad was like, "Oh, Jeremy, you're my bestest son." And then Anon had another moment, and then he saw drawings in which Olivia drew Nasser in extremely compromising positions, and he's like, "I have to deal with Nasser." And all along the way, it's formatted and written in such a way that it strongly implies that Anon is goddamn gay and hot for Nasser. And I will not stop laughing my little ass off about how he keeps calling out his golden goddamn eyes like he's about to become gay. Anon isn't beating the allegations, Anon-T-alligator. Fuck! Wah! Anyway, people are watching the recording. We're now doing the comments for Chapter 7. You can read Chapter 7 yourself if you wanted to. I like how everyone's like, he's a bro. You want to know what I'm reminded of? I'm reminded of, like, people watch an anime and it's like, those characters are gay. And they're just very good friends. They're just very good friends. And I'm like, yeah, sure, why not? Live in that world if you must. What world building? Desert Fox 123, what fucking world building? The world has not been built. This has all been character. Jesus. Guy apparently got really sad. Like I said, man, it's a bromance at the minimum. Edward. Anungus, and the health bar at the bottom appears. Oh, shit. Okay, listen. I wasn't going to. But after unlocking the truth of Anon's sexuality, we have to. I don't know. I just don't know. Fuck. In the Chrysobus. I need a moment to just recover. Sorry. Wait. Is this it? Oh, this might be it, actually. Luistervink. That might actually be it. I think I found it. Or at least I got as close as I really wanted to get. Hold on, I gotta look something up. The people who are watching this recording are probably slightly confused, and like I said, man, it's extremely. It makes more sense if you watch the VOD. I'm sorry to tell you, buddies. The subtle plush of his. I think we all know that Arthur here has what it takes. Alexa, play Just the Two of Us. Olivia had dug her snout deeper into her notebook upon seeing us return with Nasser in tow. The pterodactyl had noticed the baryonyx as well, his golden eyes widening briefly to indicate that he had recognized Olivia as the girl he crashed into the other day. So, I got a quick question for people. If you were Nasser, you'd probably be like, are they going to slam dunk me for this or something? Because, like, this seems kind of like an accusatory... Alright. And for the record, it was not my idea to have the two sit directly beside each other. It just so happened that it was the closest chair to Nasser when he arrived, the pterodactyl folding his good wing and folding, and sitting down as Olivia pretended to be further absorbed in the notebook. Please, Olivia, do not write porn when someone's sitting next to you. That is rude. Warden was the first to ask,
So what's your day, man?
Nasser seemed caught off guard, despite the normal question. Oh, me? He then gave a nervous smile. My name's Nasser Aaron. He said the name I always knew before extending his claw. Nice to meet you. He extends one claw and no more. Gonna give Nasser a swirly. Nasser, we heard that you've been fucking with our gator girl, so we're gonna have to slick our pompadours and give you a swirly, buddy. And why did you say it like that? Say it like what? What? We're getting pompadours?
I thought we were just gonna... Doe, why do you have a pompadour?
What, didn't you get the email? That was an email? It seemed a little too formal for the occasion, but I don't really blame Nasser for being a little awkward. He was the popular kid of Volcano High, but outside of his comfort zone, you mean his stomping ground, and especially outside of the school, he was far of his element here.
Oh, we're doing a...
Warden had to stand up to accept it.
I wouldn't, Jack.
And I'm yawning.
Ow.
They shook on it as Doe placed her hand on her chest, standing to accept his claw.
And I'm Domaret.
Dumaret.
I'm Domaret. Nice to meet you, Nasser.
Nasser nodded, turning his snout. Hold on, we have to check the snout calculator. How much is snout said this time? 29. Jesus. We got a really high snout concentration, about 2/3, 1/3 down. Nasser nodded, turning his snout to me with his claw open. Again, claws are like the fingertips. They're not the whole hand. Oh, fuck it. Awkward greeting or not, I mean, I guess it could be the hand. I don't know. Let's look it up. Let's see if I'm crock full of shit. The curved, pointy, horny nail on each digit of birds, lizards, and some mammals. Okay. A mechanical device resembling a claw, the pincer of a scorpion. Either pair for hooked appendages. Okay, so it seems to be just limited to that. Okay, well, I guess I was right. Klauw. Same in Dutch, actually. Just said a little differently. Awkward greeting or not, it felt good, super good to meet Nasser again after so... I'm not putting the text back up. I'm not putting the text back up. I'm not putting the text back up. I swing my arm to the side and clap my claw against my own. What? Grasping it with... Oh, with his own. Grasping it with a smile on my snout. Ananagus. Good to have you here at the table, bro. Nasser seemed slightly surprised. Hopefully not too overwhelmed with thy sudden outwardness. Thankfully, he smiles back, shaking our hand clasp. Hand clasp? I think that's correct, but it's still not a word you see much. Thanks. He then relinquishes his arm. Arm? Jesus, really weird word choice here. I'm gonna have someone who speaks English look at this next time. Turning to Olivia. And you are? I peer past his shoulder to try and give Olivia a reassuring smile. Are you sitting next to him or not? I guess you're sitting next to him then. Gay. You are not beating the allegations. She doesn't see it. Instead, the baryonyx somehow reads even more deeply into a notebook for a few seconds, before reaching for a vodka tea and taking a big, nervous swig. She was already distant when it came to meeting new people, but to meet her crush for the first time, it was going to be tough for her. It's alright. I've met a few crushes. It's fine. You'll live. Admittedly, all of my crushes were super embarrassing. They were the worst. This was going to be tough for her. Slowly, Nasser's good wing began to droop. His head slowly oh god, they're actually using the wing for a modem. Good job. His head slowly peering away as he unfortunately began to get the wrong impression. A flash of Olivia's gold-grey eyes seeped clear between him and the book, realizing she had to say something. I'm going to slap myself if I yawn again. And with tremendous force, she stood up from her seat, so suddenly that her tail that tipped her chair back as it fell on the floor with a loud clatter, startling Nasser and the rest of us. Aren't lunch table benches, like, attached to the table? Olivia. Nasser looked back, taken aback. Ugh. I mean, I do it like that. I totally write that line just to be smart. My name's Olivia, and, she seemed... then she didn't seem to get a hold of herself, more calmly saying the next part. I'm not angry about the time you crashed into me. You swit. It seemed so random and out of pocket to declare, especially since it happened a few days ago. But ironically, Olivia had somehow hit the nail perfectly on the head as Nasser let out a huge sigh of relief. Now no longer as tense as his good wing assumed a normal position. Oh, thank God. I thought this was really gonna be... I thought that really was the case. He then let out an unsteady chuckle, perhaps realizing he was talking too much before finally smiling. It's good to know you too, Olivia. The baryonyx pauses, her eyes peering at mine for the moment, and to see my grin before looking back, a small smile building on her snout. Yeah, you do. Before trying to sit back down, having completely forgotten that she had tipped the chair over. Olivia's eye widened as she fell back atop the floor, now lying down and blankly staring up at the ceiling. Nasa's eyes widened. Whoa, are you okay? Yeah. Nasa, ever the good boy, don't... Anon, please. Please. Went forward to help her up as I put her chair back up for her to properly sit. Again, you're using repetitions, but more importantly, Anon, just write the shipfic already, okay? I need the Nasser Anon shipfic now. Olivia murmured, thanks to us both, returning to a book and subtly trying to doodle and distract herself from the embarrassing event. Warden once again being the first to speak up as Nasser's attention turned to him. Wake up. Good boy. Pat-pats for Nasser.
So what school do you come from, Nasser? Cretaceous Public?
Ow! He shook his head. Nah, I'm from Volcano High in Caldera Bluffs.
I knew it! Most students are coming from the schools in Genoka Park, are usually in bigger groups. Kinda surprised to see you committed to the 2-hour bus drive.
I wonder if you can be just a little bad. Anon, you're too young to buy puppy gear. The people at the stores won't know what the fuck you're doing there. They'll also probably have to legally remove you from the property. Like, I know you're an adult in there, Anon, but that doesn't matter when it comes to your ID papers. Papers, please. Yeah. Nasser brought a claw to the back of his head. Actually, I was supposed to come with another student from my school, a megalodon named Chet. He then shrugged. But he had to drop out at the last second to deal with some family stuff. So, you're all here by yourself? Stop yawning, Safi. The question surprisingly came from Olivia, looking from a notebook to briefly stop drawing. Looking up from her notebook. Oh, look, people can look instead of peer. I watched as Nasa slowly a small frown on his face as his brows raised. I know him too well to know that there was definitely something eating at him. So I chose the moment to speak up, but not push it. Not yet, at least. Then it's a good thing we found each other, I say, with a brightening smile on my snout. Did you eat yet? Nasa's head lifted up. Not yet. I usually don't eat until I finish training. His claw moved away from his head, removing the other from his claw. What? His hand moved away from his head, removing the other from his head. Okay, I don't know what the hell he's doing, but he's clutching at his growling stomach. Which is now, actually. You guys got any recommendations from the cafeteria?
Steak's good. Just keep in mind it's gonna be tough to chew sometimes.
Will do. Let me just... He reached into his pocket before freezing up, feeling on his other pocket. The telltale sign of... I left my wallet at the dorm. Nasa simply said before slumping down. I would say said simply works a bit better. Into his chair, a devastated look on his face. Well, damn, that's unlucky, I remarked, as I brought my very own packed lunch, shrugging. Alright, you can have half of my sandwich. Nasa looks at me, his eyes wide. Timber, his eyes wide. Huh? Are you sure? I'll never forget his brave sacrifice of his foot-long filly sub that he had split with me on my first day in Volcano High. Oh, Anon, stop swooning. Guess everything had come full circle for me to... Great if, like, Anon exists and Anon shows up and he repeats the gesture and Anon's like, oh, that's my boyfriend. Of course, man. You must be starving after running all day. I then handed him half of the ham and cheese sandwich. Can he have cheese? Seems a little herbivore to me. Or omnivore, actually. Actually, I don't know what milk would fall under. Thanks, A plop was suddenly heard at the table. Olivia had spontaneously laid an egg, apparently. Olivia, having silently donated her entire Ziploc bag from her lunchbox, filled to the brim with raptor-shaped dino nuggies, leaving Nasa stunned. You didn't really have to, Olivia.
Oh, and take my drink too.
Olivia added, rolling a can of soda over, Nasa catching it with a startled claw before it fell off the table. Okay, thanks, but... Ice cream. Warden simply announced as if casting a spell, claws outstretched as a covered cup. How many times have you used fucking claw, my man? Dang. Ease up. As a covered cup of vanilla cream suddenly appeared from the other... Why did your mom give you fucking ice cream for school? What? Either your mom is cool or fucking nuts. I would just feel completely indebted. Nasa murmured, now staring at the entire lunch, before the three of us burst into laughter. Now I'm sold, and Nasa ship search, go! Feel free to put it in the suggestions post. If you find a good one, at least. Nasa murmured, now staring at the entire lunch before him, as the three of us burst into laughter. Olivia briefly looking at with a small smirk on her snout. You keep describing it the same way. I hate it. You guys always this charitable? He asked. Yet all the while his tone sounded grateful.
Well, to be honest, I just kind of jumped the bandwagon.
Warden admitted.
But I don't regret it.
He then seemed to remember.
Oh yeah, we also got a boxing club at the school. Probably not a good idea to eat ice cream anyway.
Boxing club? There's a boxing club at this school? Shouldn't Nasser be asking about... Because I always got the impression that Fang's obsession with Dino Nuggies is a bit longer than senior year. I feel that'd be a cute moment to, like, introduce... Talking about, right? This is a great moment to introduce that. There's a specific chill beat I'm looking for right now. Yeah, it does sound like a time they're gonna try to poison him. No, I'm looking for... Oh. Oh. Ah. It's a little happy song.
Yeah, I don't know, I've been part of it since 4th grade.
Stop yawning! Since 4th grade? Damn. Nasa looked at me. Well, that explains your grip. Felt like my dad's hand there for a minute. He said with a chuckle, not realizing he had dropped one of the biggest compliments I've ever gotten. What the... I mean, actually, yeah, that dad's pretty fucking big, though. Holy shit. Was Nasa nervous? My grip strength with Mr. Ripley's... Just call him Ripley. Levels of powerful or Mr. Aaron. Mr. Ripley is incorrect. You do not use first names with titles like that. I was put in a brief existential out-of-body experience as I stared at my own hand. Nasa looking back to Warden as his snout chomped on into his gifted sandwich. Wait, so, is everyone at this table part of a sports club? Doe nodded.
I'm in badminton.
Swimming, Olivia simply said. Wow, you guys are pretty says the man who's literally like one of the top athletes in his school. Nasa complimented, gulping down on a fucking swallowing those nuggies. I rubbed the back of my neck with my claw. To be fair, we had to have an after-school sport beyond 4th grade, I explained. Mesozoic Private is one of those schools that advertises a fitness regime for its students. Nasa shook his head, taking a sip from the soda that Doe donated. Ow! Hell, well, Volcano has got nothing like that, although we do have a lot of clubs, none of them are mandatory. Nasa then paused. Oh, okay, Mom, it was technically a gardening club, but that's because it's a punishment for detention. Oh, didn't I know it? Ah, no more smarmy interjections for me. It'd have been a miracle that my mother was less prevalent in this life, listening intently to Doe, Warden, and Olivia as Nasa continued. But thanks to that, Olivia's like #1 in the... I don't see Nasser as the kind to say, is like. He just says, is the #1. Olivia paused her drawing to murmur as she began a new doodle. Sounds kind of nice, actually.
Yeah, Mesozoic Private is no such trophy.
Warden snorted.
You'd think it being built in the 20s would mean that its stuff would look kinda nice, but if anything, some of the classrooms look like they've been left alone ever since they've been built. Just absolutely dilapidated.
Holy shit, he gets to talk. Oh my god. Listen. Arthur, you have more in your blood than I do. He totally is like, my boyfriend complimented me on my claws. And please put on some nail polish. It'll look darling. Actually, just do it in general, man. You're like dark green. You can make that work. Especially if your claws are that sharp. Give him some love. Give him a nice little... I guess everything has its upsides and downsides, Nasa said with a smile, now scooping in some ice cream with a small wooden spoon that came in the pack, before glomping his snout at... Jesus. He then seemed to notice Olivia drawing, his eyes blinking as he took the spoon back into his snout. What are you drawing? Oh, are you drawing? What else is she doing? Olivia suddenly flinched. Yes. She then paused. I mean, yeah. In a surprising move, she actually offered to... You want to see it? Olivia... You can't show your crush your porn of them. That is so awkward on a first not date. Oh boy. Gotta reveal some of her power level. You're just jealous you didn't do it yourself, Anon. Obviously, it wasn't a real power level, knowing that the other notebook was back at the house. Oh, there we go. But the thing about Olivia is that she was kind of our resident shitposter, usually doodling what occurred at the table in her free time. Exposing NASA was either going to have him laugh out loud or extremely confused. And I know how painful the latter was going to be with trying to impress someone. The wooden spoon. So a lot of cups of ice cream come with this little wooden spatula spoon thing. It's not a spoon, it's just like a little paddle you can dip in there to eat it. It sucks. It's terrible. It's better to just carry a metal spoon in your pocket and lick it clean at the end. Trust me. That's a pro tip from your boy Safi. By the way, if you suckle on the spoon early, get it nice and warm, it scoops a little easier too. Because that way it can melt it along the way. It warms up over time, but the first few, it might help. Get that heat in there early so you can eat faster. Or you can take your time, it's up to you. Fortunately, it was definitely the former that had occurred. His cheeks inflating and snout letting out broken air before opening. Seriously, what is with this guy and repeating the exact same verb? It's getting worse. Like, this doesn't happen this much in the other ones, or hasn't happened as much in the other ones. Is that me? He pointed in the picture as I peered over his shoulder, noticing that Olivia had done a really good sketch of him running like a familiar blue... Who? Escaping a cage full of students in florist gear and yelling, You're too slow. Oh, it's Sonic. Get the fuck out of here. What the fuck is a Danogalerix? Oh. Ha ha. Very funny, video gamesman. His good wing drawn more like a sailboat that was giving him wind, all the other random doodles like a warden in a wizard's getup summoning an ice cream. She drew that in like 5 minutes? How the fuck did you do that, Olivia? This conversation's been going on for like, 2 to 5 minutes? Doe tossing a can at high speeds, her body morphed into a typical shonen protagonist build of a certain Joji's strange Fuck off, that's not how you do that. That's a bad spoof. You want to capture the essence. So you should go with Go-Go. Or Momo. Minky, 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 Momo! But Minky Momo isn't Levi Style. Jesus. And then there was me lying on the floor, drama like an inanimate doll communicating through a small speech bubble. Defeating a sandwich only makes it tastier. Now this is slander, I argued in faux outrage. I'll have you know I've never committed a hate crime on a sandwich, and so I wouldn't know that fact. Olivia, you're not Rohan from JoJo Part 4. I don't know what that means. I argue my case as I cross my arms. You already argued, dumbass. Slander is spoken. In print, it's libel. Olivia fact-checked with a smug smirk before giving Doe and Warden a brief look at the notebook.
Well, why do I look so super scary?
Oh,
why do I look so super scary?
Stop yawning, idiot.
I should grow a beard when I grow up.
Olivia then returned the paper to his side, looking at Nasser. Do you like it? Are you kidding? Nasser exclaimed. I love it! His snout opened with an enthusiastic smile. I just can't believe you do it in 5 minutes? Because she didn't. Because the writer this is supernatural levels of sketching if it's any good. Like, I can sketch pretty fast in 5 minutes for 4 separate drawings is a lot. Jesus. That's like a minute per. You do know that, that's not how that works at all, right? Just in terms of setting things up. Also, this is based on things that happened at the table. While she was she was setting... What? And to have it look this good, are you... Hey, you just drew this amazing art in your notebook. Are you an artist? Jesus, you moron. The baryonyx paused, clearly overwhelmed having received all his compliments by a secret crush. A blush glowing on her cheeks as she looked down. Why can't I stop yawning?